I am Matthew Charles Draper. I am the Technical Director for Metallurgy and Manufacturing at the Office of the Secretary of Defense Innovation, Capability, and Modernization Office, or the ICAM office. I've spent my career working up the supply chain. My first real job was working for General Dynamics Electric Boat, where I worked on the design at that time of what would become the Columbia-class submarine. And early on in Columbia-class, we were working to qualify new casting suppliers, and that's how I got introduced to Steel Founders Society. Metallurgy is a small family, and defense metallurgists are an even smaller family. Once you're in the community, you kind of get to know everybody pretty quickly, and Raymond is one of the key grandfathers, if you will, of the group that has mentored many of us through, indeed, a lot of the funding that ended up contributing to some of us getting our PhD type work, or that enabled us to get into this field to begin with, came through Steel Founders Society. So in the scope of our authorities, we make prototypes, large-scale industrial prototypes, but not prototypes in the way you might think of, hey, it's a cool new phone or something. It's prototyping new industrial manufacturing capability in this case. So we'll develop a new automation prototype for how to manufacture something. And in the case here of workforce, we are also doing prototypes. So in many ways, the cast and steel competition is just that. It is a prototype of a new way of looking at workforce development. Most people think of workforce development or education. You think of the traditional K-12 model and an associate school, or you go to university. And maybe there's some trade schools that are sprinkled in. We are trying to expand beyond that model, and the competition version of workforce development has turned out to be one of the lower cost, more attractive options for us. We can spend what amounts to a smaller amount of funding and end up attracting hundreds of students, multiple competitors. It gets everybody so excited. And that's what we miss a lot in traditional workforce development. It's getting the community truly engaged. So they're manufacturing their product, they're testing their product, they're excited. Everybody's rip-roaring and hollering in the room when somebody does something and is successful. That's the type of passion that we have to breed in to this type of a workforce if we're going to expect to meet the needs that we have. We in the IBAS program are glad to be here and to make the continuing investment in making the cast and steel competition a success. It was a wonderful competition this year. Congratulations to the winners of the various different competitions, and we look forward to expanding it in the future.